The city of Verdara was alive with noise and movement. Ships of many kinds docked in the massive spaceport, while traders and travelers from different worlds bustled through the busy streets. Bright neon signs flashed in the evening air, and the smells of strange foods mixed with the cool scent of the ocean nearby. RELL. A human from Earth walked slowly through the marketplace. He liked to watch the crowd, noticing how different beings moved and talked. Verdara was a place where many species lived together, and humans were still learning to fit in. Rel had grown up here and knew the city's rhythm well. As he passed by a stall selling glowing fruits, he saw something unusual. A woman was limping along the street. She moved carefully, placing her foot down gently as if it hurt. She wore a long, dark cloak that covered most of her body, but her face showed sharp features and deep green eyes that looked tired but alert. Rel stopped and watched her for a moment. Something about her made him uneasy, but also curious. He stepped forward and called out softly, "Are you hurt? Do you need help?" The woman turned her head slowly toward him. She didn't smile, but her eyes held a strange calm. "No human," she said, in a voice that was quiet but firm. "The beast inside is just waking up." Rel blinked. The words sounded odd, almost like a warning. He hesitated, but then asked, "The beast? What do you mean?" The woman took a deep breath and looked around the crowded street before answering. "It is a power in my blood. Sometimes it stirs. It makes my body weak before it grows strong." Rel frowned, not sure what to believe. "You're saying there's a beast inside you?" She nodded. "In a way, it is part of my kind's nature. I am from a warrior race called the Kethra." Rel had heard stories about the Kethra before. They were rare and secretive, known for their strength and strange abilities. Some said they could transform in ways that scared other species. Most people avoided them. "Why are you here then?" Rel asked, stepping closer, his voice gentle. "Are you running from someone?" The woman Nira glanced nervously over her shoulder. "I am hunted, but not by humans, by those who want to capture my people for their own use." Rel's heart beat faster. He looked around, noticing a few men in dark clothes watching from the shadows. "They didn't seem friendly." "Come with me," Rel said quickly. "You shouldn't be alone here." Nira hesitated. The limp grew stronger and she winced. "The beast is waking faster now." Rel reached out, offering his arm. "Let me help you." After a moment, Nira accepted. Together, they moved away from the crowded marketplace toward a quieter alley. Rel supported her gently as they walked, felt the tension in her body, and saw the flicker of pain behind her calm face. "Tell me about this beast," Rel said quietly as they paused near a small doorway. "What happens when it wakes?" Nira looked at him seriously. "When it wakes, it gives me strength beyond normal limits, but it is wild and hard to control. If I lose control, I could hurt those around me, even friends." Rel nodded slowly. "Sounds like a heavy burden." "It is," Nira said. "That is why I try to keep it asleep. But sometimes, danger forces it awake." Rel glanced down the street. The men in dark clothes were moving closer. "Oh, they're coming." Nira's eyes narrowed. "Then I must be ready." Before Rel could say more, the men stepped into the light. "There she is," one of them said, pointing at Nira. "Get her." Rel stepped in front of Nira without thinking. "You're not taking her." The men laughed. "This is none of your business, human. Step aside." Rel's fists clenched. He didn't want to fight, but he wouldn't back down either. Suddenly, Nira's body shifted. The limp vanished as a powerful energy spread from her core. Her eyes glowed bright green, and her muscles tensed like a spring ready to snap. The men stopped, surprise flashing in their eyes. Rel felt a mix of fear and awe. The woman he had just met was more than she seemed. "I told you," she said quietly. "The beast inside is waking." With a sudden burst of speed, Nira moved forward, pushing the men back with surprising force. They stumbled and fell, startled by her strength. "Run, Rel," she shouted. He nodded, grabbing her arm again. Together, they fled through the narrow streets, leaving the shocked men behind. As they ran, Rel realized the city was more dangerous than he thought. But he also knew something else. Humans like him could stand with beings like Nira, together. Maybe they could face whatever threats waited in the shadows of Verdara. The narrow streets of Verdara's undercity were dark and cold. Shadows stretched between old buildings, and the distant sounds of the busy marketplace faded behind Rel and Nira. Their breath came in quick bursts as they hurried through winding alleys and cracked pathways. Nira still moved carefully, but her limp had almost disappeared. The strange power inside her was growing stronger, changing her with every step. Rel watched her closely, trying to understand the force she had called the beast. Once they found a small, quiet corner behind a broken wall, they stopped. Nira leaned against the cold stone, breathing deeply to calm herself. Her eyes no longer glowed, but they held a sharp intensity. "Rel," she said softly, "this power, it is part of my blood, but it is not easy to control. When it wakes, I feel stronger than any warrior I know. But it also makes my mind wild. If I lose control, I could hurt people." Rel nodded, trying to imagine what that must feel like. "Does it happen often?" "Not usually," Nira replied. "The beast sleeps most of the time. But when danger is near, or when my emotions run high, it begins to stir. The limp you saw, that is the beast's way of warning me. My body weakens before the change." Rel looked at her with concern. "That sounds painful." Nira smiled. "Faintly it is, but it is also a gift. The Kethra have lived with this power for many generations. We are trained from a young age to control it. But even the best warriors sometimes struggle." Rel thought for a moment. "So it's like a hidden strength inside you, something you have to manage." "Yes," Nira said. "But there is more. When the beast wakes fully, it changes not only my strength, but also my senses. I can see in the dark, hear sounds far away, and move faster than most beings. It is like becoming something more than myself." Rel's eyes widened. "Incredible, but it must be hard to live with." "It is," Nira agreed.
That is why
Many Kethra keep to themselves. We fear what others might think or do if they see our true nature. Some try to hide the beast forever. Have you always been able to control it?" Rel asked carefully. Nira looked down, her face shadowed. "No. When I was younger, I lost control once. It caused a lot of harm, and I was forced to leave my home. Since then, I have trained harder, but I still worry. The beast is waking faster now. Something is coming," Rel frowned. "Who is after you?" Nira's eyes darkened. "A corporation called Vexen. They hunt the Kethra to capture us and study our powers. They want to use the beast inside us as a weapon." Rel's jaw tightened. He'd heard about Vexen, a company known for its greed and cruelty. It cared only about power and money, not about lives. "We have to stop them," Rel said firmly. "But how?" Nira shook her head. "I do not know yet. I only know that I cannot let them catch me. If they capture one Kethra, it means they will come after all of us." Rel looked around at the dark alley. "Then you're not alone anymore. I'll help you." Nira studied him for a moment. "Why would a human care so much?" Rel shrugged. "Because it's the right thing to do. Because I believe in standing up for those who can't defend themselves." Nira's lips curved into a small smile. "Then you are braver than most." Suddenly, a faint noise reached their ears, soft mechanical hum, followed by footsteps. They both turned toward the sound, alert and ready. "They found us," Nira whispered. Rel grabbed her arm. "We need to move." Together, they slipped deeper into the undercity, moving through tunnels and abandoned buildings. The hum grew louder as they approached an old elevator shaft. Rel paused and looked up. "There's an old maintenance tunnel. Here, it might lead to the docks," he said. Nira nodded, pushing aside a metal grate. The passage was narrow and dark, but it was the best chance to escape. As they crawled through the tunnel, Nira's body tensed. Her breathing grew heavier, and a flicker of green light flashed behind her eyes. "The beast," she said quietly. "It's waking again." Rel stopped. "Is there anything I can do?" Nira shook her head. "No, this is my fight." Her muscles tightened, and her senses sharpened. She could hear every small sound in the tunnel, the drip of water, the movement of rats, and most importantly, the footsteps of their pursuers outside. Suddenly, the tunnel opened into a wide maintenance room. Light spilled in from a broken ceiling panel, illuminating old machinery and rusted tools. Nira stood tall, her eyes glowing with power. "Show me what you can do," Rel said, his voice steady. Nira took a deep breath. Her body shimmered with a faint green aura. Then, without warning, she moved like lightning. She leapt forward and smashed an old control panel with a powerful strike. The sound echoed through the room. Rel watched in amazement as she turned and sprinted toward a ladder leading up to the docks. The limp was gone. She was faster and stronger than any human he had ever seen. As she climbed, Nira called back, "Keep up, human." Rel followed, heart pounding but determined. At the top, they burst into the open air. The night sky stretched above, filled with stars and the soft glow of Verdara's city lights. The docks were quiet except for the hum of cargo ships, but danger was near. The mercenaries from Vexen arrived moments later. Weapons drawn, they spread out, blocking all exits. Nira stood between Rel and the mercenaries, her beast fully awake. Now, her green eyes burned with fierce light. "Stay behind me," she told Rel. Rel nodded, gripping a nearby metal pipe for defense. The leader of the mercenaries stepped forward. "Hand over the Kethra," he demanded. "From us." Nira's voice was calm but strong. "You will never take me." With a roar, she charged at the men. The battle began. Rel felt fear and awe as he watched Nira fight. Her strength was incredible, her speed unmatched, but she moved with control and purpose. The beast inside was no longer just a danger, it was a power she had learned to command. When the fight was over, the mercenaries lay defeated, and Nira stood tall, breathing hard but victorious. Rel smiled. "You really are something special." Nira looked at him, her eyes softening. "Thank you, human. You've helped me more than you know." They both knew this was only the beginning. The beast inside Nira was waking faster than ever, and the war to protect her kind was just starting. The air was thick with tension as Rel and Nira stood at the edge of the docks, the cool night breeze brushing against their faces. The fight with the mercenaries had been intense, but the victory was only temporary. Nira's body still trembled. With the power of the beast inside, and Rel could see the weight of what was to come in her eyes. "We can't stay here," Nira said, her voice low but firm. "They will come back. Vexen never gives up." Rel nodded, scanning the docks. Large cargo ships loomed in the dark, their shapes like sleeping giants waiting to carry goods across the galaxy. He spotted an old shuttle near the far end of the dock, dusty but intact. "That shuttle might still work," Rel said. "If we can get to it, maybe we can leave Verdara for a while. Stay ahead of Vexen." Nira glanced toward the shuttle, then back at Rel. "It's a chance," she agreed. "But the beast is stronger now. If it awakens fully here, it could be dangerous." Rel looked at her carefully. "I'm here to help you control it, whatever happens." She gave him a small smile, one that showed a mix of hope and sadness. Together, they moved quickly across the docks, careful not to make noise. The shadows hid their movements, but Rel could feel the eyes of watchers on them. The city was never truly quiet, and enemies were never far away as they reached the shuttle. Nira touched its cold surface, her fingers trembling slightly. "This ship is old," she said, "but it will fly." Rel took the pilot's seat and began running checks. Lights flickered on the control panel, and engines hummed softly. The shuttle was alive. Suddenly, a loud sound shattered the quiet, a booming explosion somewhere in the city. The ground shook beneath them. "What was that?" Rel asked, alarmed. Nira's eyes darkened. "Vexen is attacking Verdara now. They want to flush me out." Rel felt a rush of anger. "Then we need to get out fast." They hurried inside the shuttle, and Rel powered the engines. The noise of sirens and distant shouts grew louder as the city descended into chaos. "On," Rel said, as the shuttle lifted off unevenly from the dock. Outside the window, the city burned in spots. Bright flashes lit the sky. Smoke curled upward in thick clouds. Nira gripped the edge of her seat, the beast inside her stirring violently. Rel watched her closely, worried about what was happening. The beast is waking faster than I expected, Nira said, voice strained. I can feel it trying to take over. When you fight it, Rel asked, gripping the controls. I don't know, she whispered. Not yet. The shuttle soared higher, leaving Verdera's burning skyline behind. The stars stretched out before them, silent and endless. Rel tried to focus on flying, but his thoughts raced. He had to find a safe place for Nira, somewhere she could learn. To control her power and hide from Vexen, where will we go? He asked. Nur looked out the window, lost in thought. There is a hidden Kethra settlement on the planet Kelix. It is a place of safety and training. If we can reach it, I can find others like me. Rel nodded. Then Kelix it is.
Then.
Journey was long and tense. Nira's condition worsened with every hour. The beast inside her growled and pulsed, making her shiver and gasp. Rel did everything he could to comfort her, speaking softly, bleaking water and keeping the shuttle steady. He admired her strength and resilience, even as she struggled. One evening, as they traveled through a quiet sector of space, Nira finally spoke. I have never told a human about the beast before, she said. You are different, Rel. You don't fear me. Rel smiled tiredly. I think fear only comes from not understanding. I want to understand you. Nira's eyes softened. Maybe that is why I trust you. Suddenly, the shuttle's alarm beeped sharply. Something's coming, Rel said, checking the sensors. A small, fast ship appeared on their radar. Vexen's scout ship, no doubt searching for them. Nira's body tensed again. The beast inside. Her roared. We can't fight it here, Rel said quickly. We need to hide. He scanned the nearby space and saw an asteroid field not far away. Follow me, he said, steering the shuttle toward the rocks. The scout ship pursued them. Firing warning shots, Rel dodged between the large asteroids. The shuttle shaking with each close call. Nira gritted her teeth, fighting the beast's urge to lash out. Finally, the shuttle slipped into a narrow cave among the rocks. Here, Rel said, is powering down the engines. The scout ship flew past without noticing them. Inside the cave, silence fell. Nira collapsed onto a metal crate, breathing hard. The beast nearly took over, she said quietly. Rel knelt beside her. You're stronger than it. Nira shook her head. Not yet, but I will be. I have to be. Rel smiled. And I'll be here to help. They rested for a moment, the danger still close, but temporarily at bay. Outside, stars twinkled cold and distant. Rel looked at Nira and felt a fierce determination growing inside him. He would protect her. Together they would face whatever came next, no matter how fierce the beast inside. The cave inside the asteroid was cold and silent. Dust floated in the low gravity, and the only sound was the soft hum of the shuttle's emergency systems. Rel sat near the controls, checking the radar again. The Vexen scout ship had passed by, but he knew it would return soon. They had to keep moving. Nira sat quietly near the back of the shuttle. Her eyes were closed, but her breathing was sharp and uneven. The beast inside her was still awake, still pulling at her mind like a strong tide. You're shaking again, Rel said gently, walking over to her. I can feel it.
Well,
Trying to take control? Nira replied, her voice strained. Harder to hold it back in tight places. The beast wants to run, to fight. But there's no space here. Rel knelt beside her. We'll be out of here soon. We'll reach Kelix. You'll find your people. Nira opened her eyes. If I don't lose control before then, you won't, Rel said firmly. You're stronger than you think. Nira gave a small nod, though doubt still lingered in her eyes. Then a red light blinked on the radar screen. They're back, Rel muttered. The scout ship is scanning the field again. They're searching every rock. Nira stood up slowly. Then we must move now. Rel powered up the shuttle, careful not to create too much noise. The engines hummed quietly as he guided the ship back into the open space between asteroids. The field was wide and filled with floating rocks of every size. Moving through it was like flying through a storm of slow-moving mountains. Rel gripped the controls tightly, weaving between sharp turns, trying not to leave any trail. But the Vexen ship spotted them. "They've locked onto us," Rel said. "They're following fast." Nira stood behind him, steady despite the shaking ship. "I'll handle them." "No," Rel replied, glancing at her. "Not yet. If the beast takes over in this shuttle, you might lose control." "I won't." "Lose control," she said, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Trust you. Now trust me." The Vexen ship fired a warning blast that rocked the side of the shuttle. Sparks flew from one of the panels. Rel turned sharply, dodging another blast. "If we don't shake them soon, they'll hit the engine." "I need to get out there," Nira said, her voice calm but firm. "Open the cargo door." Rel stared at her. "Are you serious?" "Yes. I'll jump." "You can't fight them." "In space, I can if the beast takes full form." Rel's heart pounded. "You might not come back from that." Nira smiled faintly. "That's a risk I'll take for you, for my people." Reluctantly, Rel opened the cargo door. Cold air rushed inside, and the stars outside glowed brighter. Nira stepped to the edge, her cloak fluttering behind her. Her body shimmered with green light and her muscles tensed as the beast inside came fully alive. "Goodbye, Rel," she said softly. "Keep flying." Then she leaped into the darkness. Rel watched in disbelief as Nira shot toward the enemy ship like a streak of light. Her form twisted and shifted midair, her body glowing brighter with each second. On the radar, he saw the Vexen ship suddenly stop moving. A moment later, flashes of green and red exploded around it. Nira had reached them, inside the enemy ship. Chaos broke out. Nira tore through metal like paper, her beast form stronger and faster than any machine. Alarms rang. The ship tried to flee but spun out of control. Back in the shuttle, Rel turned the ship away from the fight, moving faster now. He didn't want to leave her, but he knew she had given him this chance. "Nira, please come back," he whispered suddenly. The radar beeped again. Something was heading toward him fast. He held his breath. Then, like a shadow through the stars, Nira reappeared, flying through the cold space. Her form was still glowing, but dimmer now. She landed on the shuttle's roof, and Rel quickly opened the hatch. She fell inside, gasping, her body back to normal but weak. "You did it," Rel said, catching her before she hit the floor. "There. Gone, ... for now," she whispered. "But others will come." Rel helped her to a seat and started the engines again. "Let's reach Kelix before they find us again." The shuttle jumped to light speed, stars stretching into long lines outside. The window later, when the ship was quiet again, Nira spoke. "The beast is changing." "What do you mean?" Rel asked. "Each time I use it, I learn more about it. It's not just rage and power. There's memory in it, purpose. Like the beast inside me knows something I don't." Rel frowned. "Do you think it's alive? Maybe not like you and I," Nira said, "but it carries something old, something the Kethra once understood." "Then maybe we'll understand it too," Rel said. Nira nodded. "But we must be careful. If Vexen finds out that the beast holds more than strength, if they learn about the memory, it will no longer be just me they chase. It will be all of us." Rel sat beside her. "Then we'll get to Kelix. Warn your people. And we'll be ready." Outside, the stars were peaceful again. But both of them knew it was only the calm before the storm. The shuttle moved through the empty darkness of space, its engines humming softly as Rel guided it closer to Kelix. The planet hung ahead like a shining jewel, blue and green with white clouds swirling over its surface. After days of running and fighting, they were almost there. Nira sat beside Rel, her body still tired from the last battle. The beast inside her had quieted, but she knew it was only resting. It was always there, waiting, watching. Rel looked over at her. "Kelix is not far now. Do you think the others will be safe?" Nira's eyes were thoughtful. "Kelix is hidden well. The Kethra built it deep in the mountains where no ship can easily find it. It is a place of peace and training, a home. For those like me," Rel smiled. A home. That's what you need. Nira nodded. Yes, and if Vexen comes here, it will be a war unlike any other. Rel's expression grew serious. Then we have to warn them before that happens. The shuttle entered Kelix's atmosphere with a gentle shake. The world below was a mixture of thick forests, tall mountains, and wide rivers. Rel carefully piloted the ship toward a hidden valley surrounded by jagged peaks. This is it, Nira said softly. The shuttle landed on a flat clearing surrounded by ancient trees. The silence was peaceful, almost sacred. As they stepped outside, fresh air filled their lungs. Birds sang high in the branches, and wildflowers swayed gently in the breeze. Suddenly, figures appeared from behind the tressmen, and women with strong faces and glowing green eyes. They moved quickly, surrounding Rel and Nira. You are late, Nira said, a tall woman with silver hair and sharp eyes. Vexen's reach grows longer every day. Nira bowed her head. I know, but I have brought a friend. Rel stepped forward. I am Rel. I will help you protect your people. The silver-haired woman studied him for a moment. Humans rarely join us willingly. Rel smiled. I don't want to be an enemy. The group relaxed slightly. The woman spoke again. Am Lyra, leader of the Kelix Kethra. Welcome. Nira's eyes shone with relief. It is good to be home. Inside the settlement, Rel and Nira saw the Kethra living in harmony with nature. Houses built from stone and wood blended into the mountain landscape. People trained with weapons and meditated to control the beast inside them. Lyra led them to a large hall where others waited. They were warriors, teachers, and elders each, marked by the faint green glow in their eyes. This is our sanctuary, Lyra said, but it will not hold if Vexen attacks. Nira stepped forward. The beast inside me is changing. It remembers something. A message from our ancestors. An elder nodded. The beast is a gift and a curse. It carries the strength and wisdom of those who came before. Rel listened carefully. Can you teach her to control it better? Lyra smiled. That is why we train here. To master the beast and keep it from destroying us. For the first time in days, Nira smiled fully. I want to learn. Days passed and Rel watched as Nira trained hard. She practiced controlling her strength, calming the beast with meditation and focus. The others shared their knowledge, and slowly, Nira's limp disappeared. One night, around a fire, Lyra told stories of the Kethra's past. Long ago, the beast was wild and dangerous. But our ancestors learned to live with it, to guide it. They hid Kelix to protect the secret. Rel felt a deep respect for the people around him. You have carried this for a long time. We have, Lyra agreed. And now, with Vexen hunting us, the secret may be lost. Suddenly, a sharp alarm cut through the night. The Kethra leapt to their feet, weapons ready. They're coming, Lyra said grimly. Vexen has found us. Outside, the sky lit up with bright ships descending toward the mountains. The peaceful night shattered. Rel grabbed his weapon and looked at Nira. This is what we prepared for. Nira nodded, the beast stirring again, but this time she was ready. Together. The Kethra and Rel ran toward the battle that would decide their future. The night sky exploded with light as the Vexen ships descended on Kelix. Bright beams cut through the dark, and the sound of engines filled the mountain air. The peaceful sanctuary was now a battlefield. Rel stood beside Nira and the Kethra warriors. Their faces were set with determination. This was the moment they had prepared for, but the danger was greater than any of them had imagined. Hold the line, Lyra shouted. Protect the village at all costs. The Kethra spread out quickly, taking positions behind rocks and trees. They moved like shadows, their glowing green eyes shining in the dark. Nira's heart beat fast, but she felt calm. The beast inside her was ready. Rel loaded his weapon and checked his surroundings. The Vexen soldiers were strong. But they did not understand the power of the Kethra. The first wave of attackers crashed into the valley. Blaster fire lit up the air as the Kethra fought fiercely. Nira moved with speed and grace, her body glowing, faintly with the power of the beast. She dodged attacks, striking back with powerful blows that sent enemies flying. Rel fought beside her, protecting the weaker Kethra fighters. He saw how well Nira controlled her strength, no longer a wild force but a focused weapon. Suddenly, a heavy blast hit near Rel, throwing him to the ground. Pain shot through his leg, but he forced himself to stand. Rel, Nira shouted, rushing to his side. I'm fine, he said, gritting his teeth. Keep fighting. The battle raged on. Vexen's ships fired from above, but the Kethra had shields that absorbed the blasts. On the ground, the warriors moved like a single force, coordinated and fierce. Lyra shouted commands, directing the fighters with skill and calm. The Kethra's knowledge of the land gave them an advantage. Using caves and forests to hide and strike, Rel looked around, noticing the difference between these warriors and the mercenaries they had fought before. These Kethra fought, not just with weapons, but with heart and spirit. As the fight continued, Nira felt the beast inside her stir again, but this time it was different. It was no longer just rage or power. It was a connection to the land, to her people, and to her own past. She closed her eyes briefly, feeling the ancient strength flow through her. When she opened them, her glow brightened. Now, she whispered, and charged forward with a roar. The Vexen soldiers froze as Nira's power surged through her. She moved faster than before, striking with precision and strength that seemed impossible. One by one, the attackers fell back. Rel followed, helping where he could. Even with his injured leg, he moved with purpose. Together, they pushed the enemy toward the edge of the valley. But then, the ground shook. From the shadows of the mountains, a massive Vexen war machine appeared. It was huge, covered in armor and weapons, and it moved with slow but terrifying power. The Kethra warriors hesitated, unsure how to fight such a giant. Nira looked at the machine, then at Rel. This is the real threat. Rel nodded. We need a plan, Lyra shouted from behind them. Use the caves. Lead it into the narrow pass. It won't fit. Nira's eyes shone with determination. I will draw it in. Rel tried to stop her. That's too dangerous. I'm the only one who can move fast enough, she said. Trust me. With a nod from Lyra, Nira ran toward the war machine. The beast inside her flared to life. She became a blur of green light and power. The machine fired, but Nira dodged easily. She circled around it, leading it toward the narrow mountain pass. Rel and the warriors followed, ready to strike when the moment came. The machine entered the pass, its huge body scraping against the rocks. It struggled to move forward at that moment. The Kethra attacked from the sides, blasting the machine's weak points. Nira jumped onto the machine's back, using her claws to rip through armor plates. Sparks flew as she damaged the control systems. The war machine shuddered and slowed. Then, with a final roar, it exploded in a burst of fire. The Vexen soldiers saw their strongest weapon destroyed and began to retreat. Lyra called out, "Push them back! They are weak now." With renewed energy, the Kethra and Rel pressed the attack. The enemy fled into the night, leaving Kelix behind. The valley grew quiet again, the stars shining down on the battle-scarred land. Nira collapsed to the ground, exhausted but victorious. Rel sat beside her, helping her breathe. "You were incredible," he said softly. Nira smiled weakly. "The beast and I, we are becoming one." Lyra approached, her eyes full of respect. "You have saved Kelix tonight. The war is not over." Rel looked at the peaceful valley. "Then we prepare. We fight to keep this place safe." Nira nodded. "I will learn everything the beast can teach me." The stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if the universe itself watched over them. Together, they knew the future held many battles, but for now, Kelix was safe. The first light of dawn touched the mountains of Kelix, casting long shadows over the quiet valley. After the fierce battle, the air was still but filled with hope. The Kethra people were safe for now. Rel stood outside, watching the rising sun. His injured leg was healing, but the pain reminded him of how close they had come to losing everything. He turned as Nira approached, her steps steady and calm. "How do you feel?" he asked. Nira smiled softly. "Stronger." The beast and I are no longer two, but one. Rel nodded. It's good to hear. She looked at the peaceful landscape around them. Kellex is beautiful. This place feels like home. It's more than that, Rel said. It's promise. A chance to protect what matters. The people of Kellex were busy rebuilding. Some repaired homes, while others cared for the wounded. Nira joined the elders in the great hall, eager to learn more about the history of her people and the beast inside her. Lyra welcomed her warmly. You have taken the first step to becoming a true Kethra warrior. Nira listened carefully as the elders spoke of ancient times of battles fought, secrets kept, and the bond between the Kethra and the beast. The beast was a gift, they said, meant to protect life and bring strength to those who respected it. But it must be controlled, Lyra added. Without control, the beast becomes destruction. Nira thought about her own journey, the fear, the pain, and the strength she had found. She knew her path was just beginning. Outside the hall, Rel spoke with other Kethra warriors. They asked about the human who had fought alongside them. Rel smiled and shared his story, explaining how he and Nira had found each other and learned to trust. You are part of us now, Lyra said, joining the group. The fight is not just for Kethra, but for all who value freedom and peace. Dazo passed and Nira's training grew stronger. She learned to listen to the beast inside her, to guide its power with her mind and heart. Meditation helped calm the wild urges. Physical training built her endurance. Rel helped where he could, offering support and encouragement. The bond between them deepened, not just as friends, but as partners in a greater mission. One afternoon, as the sun warmed the valley, Nira and Rel stood on a hill overlooking the settlement. The view was breathtaking, the forests green and alive. Do you think Vexen will come back? Rel asked. Nira looked at the distant stars. They will, but we will be ready, and the beast. It's part of me now. A protector, not a threat. Rel smiled. I'm glad you found peace with it. Suddenly, a small group of Kethra approached, carrying a message. Lyra handed it to Nira, her face serious. It's from the outer colonies, Lyra said. Vexen attacks are spreading. They seek the beast's power everywhere. Nira read the message carefully. The war was far from over. We must help, she said firmly. The secret of the beast cannot fall into the wrong hands. Rel nodded. Then we take the fight to them. Lyra agreed. It will lead the new warriors. Teach them what you have learned here. Nira felt a surge of determination. I will not let fear control us. We will protect the future. That night, under a sky full of stars, the people of Kellex gathered. Nira spoke to them, her voice strong and clear. The beast inside me is not a curse. It is a gift. Power to protect, to fight for peace, and to unite us all. Together, we will face the darkness and build a new world, one where fear does not rule. The crowd cheered, their voices rising like a wave of hope. Rel stood beside her, proud and ready for the journey ahead. As the stars watched silently, Nira knew her story was only beginning. The beast inside her was awake, but now it was a guardian, a symbol of strength and courage. Together, they would face whatever came next. The universe was wide. It's full of challenges and dangers, but also full of promise. And Nira was ready.